I remember one time, one of my guys, he comes running into my office and he goes, Chris, oh my God, this client. I'm like, what's wrong? It's like, do you know who they are? I'm like, I know who they are. What does that mean? Well, this is who I've always wanted to work in my life. And the kind of money we're talking about here, it's like over $500,000. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I want you to remember what your life was like before this client reached out. Go back to that place. We're going to be fine with them. We're going to be fine without them. Daniel Priestley calls this the with or without you energy. And some people have said, Chris, you have that kind of energy. I'm like, okay, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to say. It's like, my life continues on. And it always does. It's our attachment to some future state that hasn't happened yet, or it's an attachment to the past of our old glory days that really messes us up from being present in the moment. We're going to be okay either way. And you know what? There's something that's really disarming that the other person will feel. Like, this guy or gal doesn't give a rat's balls if we work with them. They're not sitting here treating us and blowing smoke up our butt. Like, they're going to say the truth. So in that moment, I told him, everything's going to be okay. But I'll tell you what's not going to be okay. If you go on that call and you're like all huffing and puffing and hyper energized and it's desperate to close it, you won't be using all of your brain. You'll sound desperate. And desperate people are pretty repulsive. And I'll land on this one example, okay? So one of these clients, it was for a logo assignment that was going to be more money than we've ever been paid for just designing a logo. It was over $100,000. And my creative director was interfacing with their VP for days or over the course of 2 weeks to make sure we're a good fit. Now it was CEO to CEO time, and they're a really big corporation, $200-300 million in revenue a year. We get on the phone, and I'm prone to do this. I barely do any preparation, and my creative director's got all the notes. He's ready to go. We get on the call, and we're talking about something, and the CEO asked me personally, he's like, Chris, have you been to our site? Do you know what we do? I said, I haven't. I don't. He goes, okay. I said, I knew we were going to have this conversation. Sometimes it's dangerous for me to come in with ideas that aren't from your mouth. He's like, okay. And we have a conversation, 20 minutes or so. We hang up the call or the phone. Dude, why did you do that? I'm like, do what? I thought the call went really well. We were in rapport. He goes, I knew all this stuff. You could have just thrown it to me. I said, there's a problem with that. When a person asked me a point blank question, he didn't say, did you guys? He said, Chris, did you personally look at this and do you understand what we do? I have to tell him the truth. So he's like, oh, dude, weeks worth of preparation for this, and you've just blown it. I don't think so. Let's see what happens. A couple days later, he comes back in my room all excited. He's like, we got the gig. And we're doing the work for them. And now we get to know them better. Why did we get the gig? He says, because the CEO asked your boss a direct question, and this guy doesn't lie. He respects that.